to another weekly update. I hope you're doing well. I'm certainly feeling quite a lot better than I was last week. Not 100%, but better. So if I start coughing again, I apologise. It does still kick in after a bit of talking, so we'll see if I can make 10 minutes. But I'm definitely feeling better, even if I don't always sound better. All right. Some interesting things to go through this week. I don't think no major announcements. You know, we've had a couple of weeks of big announcements. We had Ignite with all their big announcements, and then we had some sort of stuff leaking out after that, and then we had ESPC with a couple of Microsoft announcements from there as well. We're on the ramp down into Christmas now, so a couple of weeks left in the year, and just a couple more things to talk about, so let's go through them. The first is a blog post from the Microsoft 365 platform team. So it's on the devblogs.microsoft.com blog. And this one it's about AI, and it's about how you can use the Microsoft Teams partner development platform, and really what the opportunities are for you as a partner. And this is kind of an interesting blog post because I've certainly heard partners, Microsoft Teams development partners, wondering, what is the Teams development platform going to do in this very AI world? And there's lots is the answer, but you need to kind of keep up. You need to pay attention because actually lots has changed quite quickly. So if you are still using the tools and technologies of 12 months ago and you haven't embraced any of the new stuff, you probably should change that going into 2024. This is quite a good blog post for kind of giving you that kick that you might need. This is the blog post, the future of collaboration and AI, opportunities for partners in the Microsoft Teams AI ecosystem. Now, I'm going to skip through quite a lot of this blog post. The bit I want to show you is the screen, this picture on the screen. And this is really encapsulating the way in which you can, as a partner, how you can make the most of what Copilot is and what the Teams platform, sort of development platform, is going to evolve into in 2024 from where it is today. And so fundamentally, that is servicing Copilot. That might be extensions, it might be data connectors, but really it's adding to what is already there in Copilot. And then the second one is you building your own Copilots using things like the Teams AI library, using Azure AI Studio, the Teams Toolkit, all the things that we've been talking about, all the things that I've been talking about every week for the past 6 months or so. So what Microsoft are saying is partners, this is a good ecosystem for you to be building things in. We have the eyeballs, we have the users, we have the Copilot, we have the AI, we have the tooling and the SDKs that you need to put all this stuff together. If you don't think that's true, go and have a look at the Teams AI library if you haven't already. Go and have a look at Copilot Studio if you haven't already. I'm going to do some blog posts soon. It was supposed to be this week. It's not going to be. It might be next week. Around how you can plug your data into large language models on the Microsoft stack, on the Azure AI stack. There's lots going on here. Plugin Copilot plugins, as well, get my words in the right order, are again another area in which partners should invest in 2024. This isn't supposed to be a kind of a roundup of what 2024 is going to be, but this blog post kind of is that. So I think this is required reading for partners at the moment going into 2024, especially if they're maybe struggling slightly to understand where they fit right now. In what Microsoft is and what they're doing and what they're offering. I think this is a great blog post for sort of level setting that. I'm glad this blog post is put together. It's been well written as well, and it's definitely worth reading kind of cover to cover, I think, for Microsoft Teams partners. All right, other things. Again, another month, another Dev Proxy update, and a new name this time for the Microsoft 365 Developer Proxy. It is now known just as Dev Proxy. Not content with taking over the world of Microsoft 365, they're now just setting their sights on just taking over the world and all developers with their Dev Proxy. So that's what it's now called. It's just called Dev Proxy, which is cool. Congrats to the team for breaking out of the Microsoft 365 naming jail. That was pretty cool. But I think it makes sense. I think it's exactly the right thing to do, because what you've built is a tool to test, HTTP calls. And yes, it does really, really well at Microsoft Graph calls. It does really, really well on the Microsoft 365 ecosystem, but actually it could be used for so many other things. And it's an open source tool, so you can take it and use it for whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be a Microsoft 365 thing. So this is cool. Yeah. And anyway, they've got a new version out now, 0.13, unlucky for some, I guess. This is one of the things that I was reading this blog post earlier and made me stop. And I was like, right, this is one of those things where over Christmas, over the New Year, I need to invest some time. I need to sit down for a couple of hours with a good drink and just get my head around this, and which is this inspect request with Chrome DevTools protocol. So they've introduced a new plugin. It uses the DevTools protocol to let you explore the request and response. I just need to try this, because this is one of those things, you get them sometimes where the investment in time that you make is so going to be worth it. Like, it feels like a pain at the time to be like, okay, I've got to spend a couple of hours getting my head around this, playing with it so I understand how it works and what it's showing me. But if I can put that investment time in, it is going to pay back so many times when I'm trying to debug or I'm trying to work out what's going on. And I think that this is going to be one of those things. I did the same thing with Postman, a similar thing, right? You put the investment in and then it repays itself so much. So that's on my list for between Christmas and New Year's, to really understand how DevProxy is working with Chrome DevTools and what that brings me. So that's really cool. There's some cool new stuff as well, other stuff as well. They've got some guidance about search. I think this is going to be really interesting. We're going to see search particularly play a really big role in 2024. If you think about Copilot, if you think about AI, if you think about RAG, search is going to be super important here. And so they've got updated guidance about what you're doing in search. That'd be cool to see that build out a little bit more, and you can imagine it being kind of built out with some of the AI stuff as well. So that's kind of really interesting. This release has also got a bunch of other stuff in it as well, performance improvements and bug fixes and all the rest of it. It's definitely worth you getting it, but I say only if you either understand already what the Chrome DevTools protocol is, or you're willing to sit down for an hour or two and really understand it. So maybe that could be your Christmas, New Year project as well as mine. But yeah, that's definitely what I'm going to be looking at. Try and get my head around it, and we'll see. And one more thing just to tell you about is because it's another month, we're into December now apparently, and there's an update for Azure Communication Services. They've got their feature update. A couple of interesting things in here. The one that really stood out is they now support Azure AI bots as a chat channel. So if you've got this is a good diagram to show you actually. If you've got a sort of situation here where you've got, let's see if I can't zoom in a bit. Zoop. Apparently I can't. Never mind. Never mind. So you've got your customer here, and you've got Azure Communication Services using chat or routing to a live agent. You can hand off some of this workflow to an Azure AI bot service. And then from there, you're off to the races with things like Azure OpenAI, Azure AI Services, all the rest of it. So this is kind of interesting. I think this is going to unlock quite a few different scenarios, and also means you have got to try and pick between two kind of competing technologies or anything like that, which is kind of nice. You've got the Azure AI bot services, and you haven't got to try and like recreate some of that stuff inside ACS if you want basic. If you want bot capabilities, you haven't got to try and build them yourself inside ACS. And your code, you can hand it all off to Azure AI bot services, and you get all the benefit of the kind of native integration with the Azure OpenAI stuff as well. All right, I think that's everything from me. I'm going to try and keep it under 10 minutes. So whatever it is you're doing this week, have a great one, and I will speak to you again next time.